Highest common factor. Model answers. Let's begin with our first question. What is the highest common factor of 84 and 110? Now the first thing you should notice is that this is a 2-mark question. And what that means is that you must show the workings out and get the correct answer to get both marks. So let's begin. The first number is 84. Now using the factor tree, 84 is an even number, therefore it can be divided by 2. Remember, we start with the smallest prime number first. 84 divided by 2 is 42. It's nice and easy. Now 42 is also an even number, therefore it can be divided by 2. 42 divided by 2 is 21. Now 21 is an odd number, therefore it cannot be divided by 2. The next prime number is 3. Can it be divided by 3? Yes, it's in the 3 times table. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now 7 is also a prime number. Therefore, we have reached the end of the factor tree for number 84. I'm going to circle all the prime factors. So those are all the prime factors for number 84. Now let's turn our attention to the next number, 110. So again, using the same format, 110. It's an even number, therefore it can be divided by 2. 110 divided by 2 is 55. Now the number 55 is an odd number, therefore it cannot be divided by 2. The next prime number on the list is 3. Now you will notice that 55 cannot be divided by 3. So we move on to the next prime number, which is 5. Now because this ends in 5, the number 55 ends in 5, we know that it can be divided by 5. It's 5 and 11. So 55 divided by 5 is 11. Now 11 cannot be divided any further. It is also a prime number. So let's circle all the prime factors for 110. So now let's write them down in the format that we are used to. So 84 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. So we've taken all the numbers which we have circled. The number 110, we're going to take all the numbers we've circled here. 2 times 5 times 11. Now the next step is that we have to find the common numbers in both 84 and 110. We start with the 2, and the 2 matches the 2 at the bottom. Now you will notice that there are no other matches. The numbers over here, 2, 3, 7, do not match with the 5 and 11 over here. So therefore, the highest common factor of numbers 84 and 110 is simply 2. That is the highest common factor of 84 and 110. And if you lay out the answer in this format, you will get both marks in the exam. Now let's move on to our second question. What is the highest common factor of 128 and 224? Now again, the first thing you should notice is that this is also a 2-mark question. So it is very important to show all the workings out. So let's begin with the first number, 128. Now 128 is an even number, therefore we can divide it by 2. 128 divided by 2, well, you can do 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, 64. Now 64 is also an even number. So again, we're going to divide this by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now we have the number 32. Another even number, so let's divide it by 2 again. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this. 16, another even number, divided by 2 is 8. 8 can be divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 and 2. So we've reached the smallest prime number. That's good practice just to circle all of the prime factors. Quite a lot of them, and all of them are 2. Okay, now let's move on to the number 224. 224. Oops, that's not coming out. Yes, it is. 224. Again, an even number. Let's divide it by 2. So 224 becomes 1, 1, 2. Okay, I'm just going to write that out again. It wasn't very clear. There we go. 112. Now 112 is also an even number, so we're going to divide that by 2. And you can work this out. I'm sure you can work this out in your head. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 56. Now again, another even number. Divided by 2, that becomes 28. And we keep going. Divided by 2, another even number, that becomes 14. 14, we can divide this by 2, and 7. Now you will notice that 7 is a prime number. So we've reached the end of the factor tree. Let's circle all of the prime factors. And now we're going to, instead of writing the prime factors out in a list, we're going to do this slightly differently. We're just going to match the circles in both numbers. So we've got a 2 over here, and we're going to match it with a 2 over here. We've got another 2 here, we're going to match it with another 2 over here. And we'll keep doing this till we come to the end. Okay, and there's one more. Now you'll notice that this number, the 2 and the 2 over here, and the 7, there's no match. Okay? So the highest common factor, and it's perfectly okay to write it like this, the highest common factor for the numbers 128 and 224 is 2 times 2. So we look at how many 2's there are. There's 1 2 here, there's another one, 3, 4, 5. So it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times, I'm not sure if we've got enough space there, 2. So let's work this out. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So that is the highest common factor of 128 and 224. The answer is 32. Let's move on to our third question. What is the highest common factor of 162 and 252. Again, notice that this is a 2-mark question. So let's show all the workings out. First number is 162. And the number 162 is an even number, so therefore we can divide it by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 162 divided by 2 is 81. Now 81 is not an even number, therefore it cannot be divided by 2. However, it can be divided by 3. And you can show the workings out here as well for 81 divided by 3. The answer is 27. Now 27 is also an odd number, therefore it cannot be divided by 2. The next prime number is 3. Now we know that 27 is in the 3 times table, so we can do 3 and 9. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. So we have worked out all the prime factors of 162. So we're just going to circle each one. Now let's move on to the other number, which is 252. Now 252 is an even number, so we start with the smallest prime number as always, divided by 2. The answer is 126. 126 is an even number, so again we can divide it by 2. It's a nice easy one, 63. Now 63 is an odd number. It cannot be divided by 2, but it can be divided by 3, which is the next prime number. So that becomes, oops, made a slight mistake there. It should be 21. 21. And 21 is the multiples of 3 and 7. So these are the prime factors of the number 252. Now what we're going to do is match the circles from one number to the other. So we've got a 2 over here. We're going to match it with the 2 on the right hand side. We've got a 3 over here. We're going to match that with the 3 down here. We've also got another 3 here, and we're going to match that with the 3. Now it's perfectly okay to do this in the exam. Just make sure it's very clear and you're not actually going through any other numbers with your lines. So therefore, the highest common factor is 2 times, now this is all the numbers that we've matched, 2 times 3 times 3. So therefore the highest common factor is 2 times 3 is 6 times 3 is 18. So all the numbers we matched were 2, 3 and 3. So therefore the highest common factor of 162 and 252 is 18. Now we will move on to our fourth question. What is the highest common factor of 660 and 396? Now again, there are 2 marks for this question, but it is possible that it could be a 3-mark question. So very important to show all the workings out. Let's start with the first number, 660. 660. Now this is an even number, so we can divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 again. And 0. So that's nice and easy. Now 330 is another even number. So the smallest prime number we start with is 2. And that becomes 165. That's perfectly okay to show the division workings out as well. 165, now this is an odd number, so it cannot be divided by 2. Can it be divided by 3? The answer is yes, and that becomes 55. Now 55 is an odd number, so we cannot divide it by 2, and it is not divisible by 3, but it is divisible by 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11, and 11 is also a prime number. So we have worked out all the prime factors of the number 660. Let's circle them. Okay, now we're going to move on to the other number, 396. Now again, this is an even number, so we can divide it by 2. And this one is a bit tricky, but I'm sure you can work it out. 198. And as I've said, this tutorial is all about going through prime factors and the highest common factor. So I'm not going to show workings out for division, but you are more than welcome to do that in the exam. 198 is again an even number, so it can be divided by 2. The answer is 99. Now 99 cannot be divided by 2, but it can be divided by 3. The answer is 33. 99 divided by 3 is 33. Now 33 can be divided by 3, and we get 11. 33 divided by 3 is 11. So we're going to circle the prime factors of the number 396. Okay, so we've done that for the two sets of numbers. Now we're going to do the matching from one set of numbers to the other. So on the left hand side we've got a 2. We're going to match that with the 2 on this side. We've also got another 2 which matches with the 2 over here. The 3 matches with the very next number, 3. Now the only last match is this 11 matches with the 11 over here. So therefore the highest common factor of these two numbers is all the numbers we've circled. So it's 2, don't forget we only count them once, 2 times 2, that's the first one, that's the second one, times, let's have a look at the third one, is this one here, which is a 3, times 11. So 2 times 2 is 4, times, we can do 11 times 3 is 33. Now 33 times 4, you can work this out, the answer is 132. Oops, this doesn't look very clear. It's 132. So therefore, the highest common factor of the numbers 660 and 396 is 132.